Hello and welcome. I'd like to thank you for tuning in to another edition of my MLB Best Bets. Last time didn't go as planned. Houston Astros took the game over on themselves, and that's the scary part. We're going against bats like that. That can happen. Unfortunately, we took the loss, but overall on the day, me and my clients, we had a decent day, going 2-2 on the day. So we're able to still be able to carry over a little bit of money to have a day like yesterday. 2-0 on the day. Diamondbacks Pirates under. Game stays 3-0. Easy W there. And the game of the day yesterday was the Red Sox A's under 7.5. That game barely gets there. 5-2 final there. But I thought it was a bit unlucky for Montas in the sixth, in which he gave up 3 runs on just 1 hit, all unearned because of an error that could have ended the inning. So he gave up a walk, error, and then a home run. A bit unlucky there, but we were still able to come away with the victory there. So a 2-0 day feels good for that. And also gave out a prop. Ian Happ over 1.5 total bases. That I actually gave out on another show, Pub Sports Radio's The Balking Dead, with the host Sharpie Bets, my guy over there. Something that we'll be doing every Sunday, breaking down Sunday night baseball. We'd look at sides, totals, and props. So if props are your thing, check them out. The Balking Dead with my guy Sharpie Bets. We had a great day yesterday, all in all, with us there on the show. So I like to continue that. Here we'll get into it. My best bet of the day, and that's going to be what you see there. The New York Mets on the road to face the San Diego Padres. On the bump for the Padres, you got Blake Snell, and for the Mets, you got Carlos Cookie Carrasco, a guy that, to me, in my opinion, real easy to like, and especially you even listen to Buck Showalter, he mentions it. Everyone pulls for Carrasco. He's just a quality guy, and that's what I see out of him, and I expect a quality start from him. And here's why. You look at his home road splits, you might think that there's a little bit of danger here. At home, he's 4-0 with a 2.78 ERA, but on the road, he's 2-1 with a 5.06 ERA. But if I look a little deeper, trim the fat, and I noticed that he's had 1 bad start on the road. That was against the St. Louis Cardinals, where he went 3 2/3 and gave up 8 earned runs. So that might inflate the numbers a bit, especially when you look at the rest of his starts on the road, in which he gave up 2 runs or less in every other start, including a start in Colorado where he went 5 1/3, only gave up 1 earned run in that start. And everybody knows that's a difficult ballpark to pitch in. And so I believe this guy, he's a big-time pitcher. Not say big time like to win you a Cy Young, but a guy he's crafty and he's a veteran and he knows how to get out of jams. That's what you saw last time out, pitching in front of his father for the very first time in his career. Went 5 innings, 0 earned runs. The scary part, he gave up 5 walks. But what I did like is that he gave up 10 ground ball outs to just 3 fly ball outs. So you saw his command and his ability to get the ground ball was there, and that's something that I've seen throughout the year. If you look at the batting average against with runners in scoring position, it drops 10 points against Carlos. Then if you look at runners in scoring position with 2 outs, it drops 90 points. They're hitting just 165 against them with 2 outs and runners on. That is a very, very high pressure situation. And if he can handle that, that is good things going forward against a San Diego team that they've been hot and cold. And what I see with their inability to hit at home. On the year, they average 4.2 runs, but at home, they're hitting just 233, averaging 3.2 runs per game, a whole run lower at home. And you see it with their record. Overall, on the year, they're 20-11 on the road, but at home, they're just 13-10. So I believe their bats will cool off a little bit at home, especially being on the road just yesterday in Milwaukee. Long travel here home, playing back-to-back games. So I'd expect their bats to struggle in the pitcher's ballpark like Petco. And for the other side, for Blake Snell, he's 0-2 on the year with a 4.80 ERA, but coming off a really strong performance against the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals team that's been hitting lefties this season. He went 6 innings, giving up just 2 earned runs in that game. And something that I like to see, when I was reading the article, Bob Melvin talks about it. There are no restrictions on Snell any longer. That is the quote I read from their coach, and that's what I like to hear, because this is a guy that can pitch extremely well. He went up against these New York Mets last season, went 7 innings, 0 earned runs, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, but then had to face him on back-to-back starts. He went 4 innings, 3 earned runs. So that's something that's difficult for a lot of pitchers, is the pitch on back-to-back starts, and that's something that we saw affect him in that game. But also you look at the difference. One game was at home and one was on the road. The game on the road was where he gave up the 3 earned runs. He seems to be comfortable at home a little bit more overall in his career. Hopefully he feels a little better, like I mentioned, at Petco. And the weather here, I love the weather. We're sitting right about 68, 67 degrees. Low wind, and that's something that I like to see in San Diego. The marine layer will affect the game as the game progresses, and that's something that we've seen with the San Diego Padres. Overall, on the year, 23 games in San Diego, 16 have stayed under the total. 16, 6, and 1, good for 73% going under the total, and that's something that I'd expect to see. I know that the Mets are hitting. I know they're hitting about 300 the last 7 games. But something that I'll reiterate is good pitching beats good hitting, and that's what I like to see out of Blake Snell here today. I like the total to go under 7.5 as my MLB best bet. But you know what? Just for you guys sticking around and you guys checking my video out, because that's something that I really appreciate, I'm going to give you one more. And this is a game that they might not play the entire game, but I expect the 5 innings to be played. And that's going to be Arizona on the road to face the Cincinnati Reds. And this game might be a little bit scary, considering the Cincinnati Reds at home this year are like the most profitable team to the over, almost about 70-something%. But this number, to me, in my opinion, is a bit inflated. And this is the reason why. Hunter Green, he did get lit up, and he has been hit hard by some of these teams, but he got complacent, and that's something that you hear him talk about. The first time around through the order against the Red Sox, he was perfect. Struck out 7 of 10 batters or 6 of 10 batters, and was looking phenomenal. But the problem was, after that, everybody wanted to jump on his fastball early in the count, and he didn't adjust back, and that was the issue there. I expect this youngster to be able to adjust. He's just 22 years old, but he has really dominant stuff. And like I mentioned earlier, I want to pick on these Arizona bats. I've been picking on them the last 2 games, and the big reason for it, you look over the last 10 games, 6 of the last 10 games, they have stayed under 3 runs 6 times. So that's something that I look for. The last 7 games, they're batting just .214, averaging about 3 runs a game. And against right-handed pitching, they're hitting just .210 on the season against right-handed starters. So I expect them to struggle against Green, especially early. And so I expect him to have a good day. On the other side, we got Madison Bumgarner, a guy that's pitched extremely well on the year. He had some trouble against some tough hitting teams. And here he faces a Cincinnati team, well, that really isn't hitting the lefties too well. They're hitting 225, 3.6 runs per game. And Madison Bumgarner, a guy that's very crafty, a guy that's shown his ability to get out of jams. He did it last time against Atlanta. Gave up 7 hits, but only 2 earned runs. So I'd expect him to have a good outing here. I think the number's a bit inflated. I was able to grab a first 5 under 5.5. If you could grab that, grab it. I love that play. I like the first 5 under 5 as well. I would take it, but the 5.5 was available for me. I paid a little bit for it, but I really like this play. That'll be my second play of the day for you guys here. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope we can start cashing some tickets and get this thing rolling. Good luck to you, and bet responsibly.